In this digital world, your website needs to be one of the key tools used for business growth. So I created this video to show you some of the main metrics that I like to follow and ensure are in good health to make sure that my websites are actually providing growth. So let's jump in. We're going to be looking at Google Analytics today. It is the go-to for most agencies. There are a couple other alternatives out there, but this one's free and easily accessible. If you are a part of Navigator, there's a good chance, 99% chance, that we actually have already created an analytics account for you. So if this is new to you, just reach out to us and we'll get you access to your account. So first things first, when it comes to these analytics tools, we need to set our date range. And so up here in the top right-hand corner, I have it set to year to date. You can set it up to whatever you need to investigate at this moment, but this is a year-end recap. We are just about at the end of 2024 here, so that's kind of what spurred on this video. So year to date, this is the reporting snapshot. Where we're going to go when you first come into analytics is actually if you click on the reports, you'll see this menu pop up. This is where I like to live. This is where all the goodness is. So let's take a look quickly at the snapshot here. We have some traffic. So this website has over 170,000 users. There's 16 active users at this very moment, or sorry, in the last 30 minutes. And we have a few categories as to where the traffic is coming from and a couple different ways to break it down. So that starts the conversation. One of the first metrics that I look at are the users. Now on the left here, you have users and traffic. The difference being that users are the individuals that come and visit your site, and traffic is just how many eyeballs have come and seen. So an example would be one user can come back a couple times to view your website. So that's why I like to focus on the users and see where are they coming from, those individuals, and what are they interested in. So if we set up or bring up the user acquisition first, we get to see, well, we get to take a look at the year in front of us here. The first things first, we need to make sure that the traffic or user count is increasing from left to right. There is definitely a growth over the year here, and you can even see for some of the industries out there, might be some seasonality, and that is what I would say these mountainous ranges is some seasonality in this business seasonality. So overall, we've had over 170,000 unique users come by, and the average engagement time is a minute and 39 seconds. That's pretty good. Now, in the past, you may have heard of bounce rate. Google has kind of flipped it upside down and looking at it more in a positive light and calling it an engagement rate. So it's the inverse. So rather than being focusing on the rate at which somebody leaves your website quickly, they're focusing on how many people are sticking around for a greater length of time, engaging in two or more pages, or actually submitting some sort of key event. Now, that's another new term for us in the last 2 years here. In the past, we would call them conversions. Now, Google's calling them key events. So here on the right, you can actually filter to see how many key events and what key events you want to select. Now that we're scrolling down, we can actually see what channels these users are coming in through. So we have paid search. Those are your paid ads running on Google. You have your organic search, which is the organic portion. So on Google, you first see the paid ads, and then the organic content is below. That's front page of Google for you. And the organic search is second. Still a healthy amount of traffic that comes through. Direct is either they entered in your web address in the address bar directly, or they've clicked. You can see that QR codes can also be counted underneath direct because they're not being redirected from, say, another website, which is actually a referral. It's not coming from social media, which is organic social, not coming from paid. So you can see things like QR codes under direct as well. So what we want to see here is based on those channels, how many are sticking around. So we can see for the most part, there's over a minute staying on this site, which is good. Organic social is a little light on the 33 seconds. So when I see a low amount, that means the message on that platform and what they see when they get to the site is different. So perhaps they were promised A and then they showed up and B is what we're talking about on the website. That would be one of the main reasons why somebody leaves pretty quickly. So I would be taking a look and reviewing what is going on in the organic socials. When we come over and look at key events, again, these are what we used to call conversions. You can select exactly what you want to be focusing on. Phone calls, email clicks, contact forms, these are all applicable. Even though purchase is in here, I know this customer doesn't actually have an e-commerce store. So this you can exclude it, but there'll be no data on that one. So we can see that organic social is actually our biggest, or sorry, organic search is our biggest conversion or key event source. So another thing to keep in mind is, do we boost this? Do we put more fuel on that fire? Or do we need to focus a little bit more on paid search and help them convert more? Or both. So this is the kind of data that I like to grab and start the conversations internally in the businesses to see where we need to make some changes. Overall, we're seeing a 38% or 0.38% conversion rate from that traffic source. So that is the users, where they're coming from, how engaged they are, including if they're converting. Now, what I also like to take a quick look at is our demographic. So we might think that we have a main or our main target audience figured out, but sometimes assumptions are not, or thought is not reality. So I always like to come down and just do a quick check on our audience. So if you scroll down on the left menu under user, there is the audience tab. We can bring this up and we can see. Oh, sorry, I think I need demographic or overview. Let's take a look at the overview. That's probably what I'm looking for. What we get to see is the actual demographics that, yeah, here we go, that are engaging with us. So we can see that where they're coming from. So this customer is primarily Canadian service. So great. That's a good start. I'm not going to lie, there's been a few sites that I've been to that the primary traffic is somewhere on the other side of the world, and they had no idea and no intention of bringing those customers in. And the fact of the matter actually was they weren't converting, they were just useless traffic. So keep an eye out for those kind of items that you need to address. Again, 12, 13 active users in the last 30 minutes. You can now actually take a look at what city they're coming from. Gender is available here. This one is pretty straight down the middle, a little bit leaning towards the males. And then here is some gold for data. What are they interested in? So Google is actually sharing a little bit with us as to what other interests they might have. And if you're wondering what this could help with, this helps out with targeting. Where do I find these individuals that are actually active on my site? And you can now say that they're typically looking at news, politics. They're looking into travel. There's news again, media, banking, food, shopping. Great. And their age for this industry, it's pretty like there's not one main leader. So 25 to 34 is shortly followed behind 45 to 54. So it is a little bit of an older demographic for this business, but really you can't rule out the 18 to 24 or 65 plus. So interesting items there. Language and English being the key language makes sense to me. And average 120 days value. That's if you are tracking or if you had attached a value to the customer making a purchase on your website. Again, this isn't e-commerce, so that's why that's flatlined. There's no data there for that. So quick overview of a few of the metrics that I really like to keep an eye on. And again, these numbers really paint a good picture, and you can spend hours in this program where you could actually say, okay, let's pick out the organic search and find out what their interests are, or paid search and find out what their interests are. And first off, make sure that there's enough conversions from those channels to actually be worthwhile targeting, and then find those interests and then target on, say, social media or such. So there's a ton of ways to go about this data. And like I said, you could spend hours in here, but I'm just going to do this quick little recap for you. If you have questions on your website, the traffic, how to read the data for it, or what to do with that data, just give us a call, email, message, anyway, you can find us and we'll help you out there. So congrats on making it through 2024. Looking forward to 2025. Wishing you the very best and success, and we'll see you on the other side. Take care.